Who is the Buddha? A historical figure or a religious symbol? How many Buddhas are there? Only one Shakyamuni Buddha or countless Buddhas across past, present, and future? Why does the image of the Buddha look different in each country? And what does this difference mean for us today? My friends, have you ever wondered, who is the Buddha? Why in Vietnamese temples you often see the Buddha sitting peacefully on a lotus throne, but in Thailand, you find a reclining Buddha, slender and smiling softly. In China, many are familiar with the image of the laughing Buddha with a big belly, while in Japan, the Buddha often appears calm and meditative, eyes half closed. Does this mean there are many Buddhas, or is there only one Buddha, portrayed differently in each country? This question seems simple, but it actually carries many layers of meaning. Many people grow up going to temples, putting their hands together before the Buddha's statue, yet they never deeply ask themselves, who is the Buddha, and why has he become such a sacred figure? Throughout history, human beings have searched for answers to life's great questions. Why do people suffer? Is there a way to end suffering? Is there a teacher who can show us the path? And the Buddha appeared as an answer to those questions. Yet, when Buddhism spread to many countries, his image was shaped differently, depending on culture, aesthetics, and the mindset of each nation. This difference created something fascinating, but also confusing. Some may think there are many Buddhas, or that the Buddha in China is not the same as the Buddha in India, and the Buddha in Vietnam is different from the Buddha in Japan. In fact, this is simply the blending of culture, where one universal truth is expressed through many forms of art. In today's long journey, we will walk through three great questions, like three doors opening to the world of Buddhism. Imagine, if a Westerner entered a Vietnamese temple for the first time, they would see the Buddha seated serenely on a lotus throne. Then in Thailand, they might see the reclining Buddha, head resting, serene. In China, they would encounter the laughing Buddha, with a big belly and cheerful smile. That person would surely ask, how many Buddhas are there, and who is the real Buddha? This is not just curiosity, but also an invitation for us, as Asians, to look again at our own faith and tradition, to understand more deeply, and to appreciate the richness and consistency of Buddhism. Today, we will not only talk about history and teachings, but also explore the meeting point between religion and culture, between form and essence. Each part will be like a journey, taking you from ancient India, where Shakyamuni Buddha was born, through temples in China, Japan, Thailand, and Vietnam, then back into your own heart, where you may find the true meaning of the Buddha's image in modern life. So, are you ready to begin? If you are, let us start with the most fundamental question. Who is the Buddha? Part 2. The historical Buddha Shakyamuni. To understand who the Buddha is, we first return to a real figure in history, Shakyamuni Buddha. He was born in the 6th century BCE in Kapilavastu, today in Nepal. His birth name was Siddhartha Gautama, in Vietnamese often called Tat Dat Da. Siddhartha means the one who achieves all goals. He was the son of King Suddhodana and Queen Maya, living in luxury and comfort. From the moment Siddhartha was born, strange omens appeared. A sage predicted that this child would become either a great king ruling the world, or an enlightened sage. Because of this prophecy, his father tried to keep him inside the palace, away from suffering. But when he ventured outside 4 times, he saw what are known as the 4 sights: an old man, a sick man, a dead body, and a wandering monk. These shook him deeply. He realized that no matter who you are, you cannot escape old age, sickness, and death. But the image of the calm monk gave him hope. Perhaps there is a path to freedom from suffering. At the age of 29, though he had a wife, Princess Yasodhara, and a son, Rahula, Siddhartha left the palace to seek the truth. This is known as renunciation. For 6 years, he practiced severe asceticism in the forest, fasting until he was skin and bones. Yet he realized that extreme self-denial did not bring enlightenment. He then chose the middle way, avoiding both indulgence and harsh austerity, keeping body and mind balanced. One dawn, under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India, after 49 days of meditation, Siddhartha attained enlightenment as the morning star rose. From then on, he was called the Buddha, meaning the awakened one, known as Shakyamuni Buddha. For 45 years, the Buddha traveled across northern India teaching. He taught kings, merchants, peasants, even the outcast. His message was universal. Anyone who wishes can walk the path. What he left behind was not rituals, but a way of practice to end suffering. He taught the Four Noble Truths. 1. Dukkha. Life is suffering from birth, aging, sickness, death, and dissatisfaction. 2. Samadaya. The cause of suffering is craving, hatred, and ignorance. 3. Nirodha. Ending these poisons ends suffering. 4. Magga. The way is the Noble Eightfold Path, guiding to mindfulness and wisdom. The Buddha emphasized that liberation does not depend on a supreme being, but on one's own practice. He never claimed to be divine, only a teacher who discovered the way. He said, "I am a Buddha who has become, you are Buddhas who will become." At 80, he passed into parinirvana at Kusinara, leaving a vast spiritual legacy. Buddhism then spread widely across Asia and later to the West, becoming one of the world's great religions. So Shakyamuni Buddha was a real historical person who gave up worldly life to find the path of awakening. He was not a god who grants favors, but a teacher who shows the way. And from here, we begin to see that the word Buddha holds a meaning far beyond one man. Part 3. The concept of Buddha in the teachings. The word Buddha in Sanskrit means the awakened one. It is not limited to one person, but a title for anyone fully enlightened. Shakyamuni is one example, but scriptures mention many Buddhas. 1. Dipankara Buddha of the past, said to have predicted Shakyamuni's future awakening. 2. Amitabha Buddha of the Pure Land, embodying infinite light and compassion. 3. Medicine Buddha of the Lapis Lazuli realm, symbolizing healing and wholeness. 4. Maitreya, the future Buddha, who will appear when Shakyamuni's teachings fade. Hearing of many Buddhas, some mistake Buddhism for polytheism. But these Buddhas are not separate gods. They are symbols of enlightenment's many aspects: compassion, healing, hope. The essence is that every being has Buddha nature, the seed of awakening. Anyone, by removing ignorance, can become a Buddha. So, the question how many Buddhas are there has two answers. Historically, 1. In principle, countless, for enlightenment is boundless and universal. Thus, when we call upon Amitabha, Medicine Buddha, or Maitreya, we are not invoking many gods, but focusing on different qualities of awakening. This flexibility made Buddhism adaptable to each culture. Part 4. Why do Buddha statues differ across nations? When Buddhism spread beyond India, its images adapted to local culture. India. Early on, the Buddha was symbolized by the Bodhi tree, the Dharma wheel, or footprints. Later statues showed him meditating, calm face, curled hair, serene eyes. China. Statues became round-faced, full-bodied, embodying prosperity. The laughing Buddha, with big belly and children around him, came from Chinese folk tradition, symbolizing joy and abundance. Japan. Statues show deep meditation, half-closed eyes, embodying Zen. The great Buddha of Kamakura, 13 meters tall, sits in calm dignity, unmoved by storms. Thailand and Cambodia. Figures are slender, graceful, with a gentle smile known as the Buddha's smile. Reclining Buddhas, depicting his final passing into nirvana, remind of peaceful death. Vietnam. Statues are modest, simple, yet compassionate. The Buddha's face often looks gentle and approachable, resonating with Vietnamese sincerity. Tibet. Colorful, powerful images, with ritual implements, reflecting Vajrayana's mystical strength. Like a melody played on different instruments, the tune is the same, but the sound differs. The essence remains enlightenment, compassion, wisdom. Part 5. The meaning of these differences. The diversity of Buddha images teaches us that form can change, essence does not. Whether thin or round, smiling or solemn, seated or reclining, the Buddha always points to compassion and wisdom. It also shows Buddhism's adaptability. People feel closer when the Buddha reflects their culture. A Chinese farmer finds comfort in the laughing Buddha, a Japanese monk in the meditative Buddha, a Vietnamese villager in the gentle Buddha. The deeper meaning is that truth can be expressed in many ways. Water takes the shape of its container but remains water. In the same way, the Dharma takes local forms but remains the path of awakening. Thus, instead of being confused by differences, we can smile and realize, everywhere is Buddha, every form is compassion in disguise. Part 6. Comparing Buddhism with other religions. In Christianity, God's image is constant, the Almighty Creator. In Islam, Allah cannot be depicted, being beyond form. Buddhism differs. Shakyamuni was a real man, not a god, and taught a path of practice, not worship. So his image could adapt freely without losing meaning. Unlike Hinduism, with many gods each ruling something, Buddhism speaks of many Buddhas but not as gods, rather as symbols of enlightenment's qualities. The key difference: Buddhism does not depend on a creator, but on self-cultivation. Every being has Buddha nature capable of awakening. Thus, when statues vary, it is not polytheism but many ways to show one truth: enlightenment is possible. Part 7. Lessons for life today. These differences remind us, outer form may vary, inner essence matters most. In life, we often argue over form, forgetting the heart. They also teach that there are many paths. Chanting Amitabha, trusting medicine Buddha, or waiting for Maitreya, all are valid, all lead to awakening. Most importantly, diversity calls us to tolerance. Each culture expresses truth differently, yet all enrich humanity. And the greatest lesson: the Buddha is not far, nor only in statues. The Buddha is within us, in mindful breathing, in kind actions, in moments of clarity. Part 8. Conclusion. We have journeyed far, from Shakyamuni's life to the concept of countless Buddhas, to the many forms across nations. The essence is clear: one historical Buddha, countless Buddhas in principle, and images that vary yet all point to compassion and wisdom. When you see different statues, do not be puzzled. Let your heart be still and remember, all forms remind us to live with awareness, kindness, and wisdom. So, my friend, let me leave you with a question. Of all the Buddha images you have seen, which touched you most and why? Share your thoughts in the comments so we may learn from each other. If you found this meaningful, please like, subscribe, and share, so more people may find peace in the Dharma. May you always keep a smiling heart, a compassionate spirit, and an awakened mind, for that is the Buddha within you.